the secrecy in handling such projects, did it give a significant family tension?
Well, it must have given, I don't know, because I was never in the family. But that I think is a part of life, in the sense, why family tension? It has given me tensions in office also. In the sense, see, you don't necessarily do everything with your boss as it were, or your superior in your line of hierarchy. And that does create some tension, but I think it's also a learning experience.
Canada-India reactor, which is later known as CIRUS, is going to be decommissioned in about a year or two on the thing. What type of impact does such an activity has on the scientist in general?
Well, not much. First is, of course, we have the CIRUS, but now we have Dhruva, a bigger reactor. Uh, we can always build another reactor, and of course, I think Dr. Banerjee can say, but at some stage we'll build a larger research reactor. Now, so I think we, as far as the facility, research facility to the scientist is concerned, we can always make good whatever will be the loss as a result of shutting down of CIRUS. And the CIRUS has been shut down essentially because we don't want anybody to point finger at us. That you know, once you have the separation plan, you got to allow inspection of things which are peaceful. And CIRUS is in Bark. In Bark, we cannot allow an inspector to come in. And if you don't allow inspection, we don't want people to point finger at us that you're not using it according to the whatever has been agreed. So I think we have come a long way than doing research reactors. So we can always build more research reactors. That's not an issue.
Unlike other plants, whether in industry or in research, decommissioning of a reactor, nuclear reactor, itself needs a well-developed technology, especially in terms of the nuclear contamination and taking care of that. Isn't this going to help us in a way to develop that technology and also pose a problem?
Well, perhaps yes, but this technology is not new to us. In the sense, we had plutonium plant, which has been not decommissioned, but in fact was decommissioned and kind of re-equipped and restarted. We had a small reactor though, Zarlina, which has been decommissioned. We have done a lot of repair work right inside the heart of reactors at Kalpakam, both the reactors. So these technologies are not completely new to us. And I think it is entirely within Indian competence to do this. One advantage of decommissioning is you have all the time. So you can do this with a certain degree of deferment so that the activity comes down and then deploy appropriate technologies. So, and this is entirely within our competence.
The problem of what to do with spent fuel has often been rather embarrassing at many of the negotiations on this.
Yeah, but we have had a very clear policy right from day one. The spent fuel has to be reprocessed and recycled. See, for any environment management, good environment management, whether you are dealing with a nuclear reactor or you are dealing with a thermal power plant or you are dealing with any chemical plant, recycle is the best strategy for waste management. And in nuclear case, if you recycle, in fact, you are actually recycling fuel itself because you produce more fuel in a nuclear reactor. So it is both ways, environmentally very beneficial thing to do, but at the same time you get maybe 70, 80 times more energy if you recycle. And that has been our policy right from day one. So it was only a question of just sticking to it and telling the world that no, we will not do from here.
program of the Department of Atomic Energy, right from the beginning, and I'm sure it was so in your regime, during your regime also, is based on the three-stage fuel cycle initiated by Dr. Bhabha.
That's right.
Some people have always felt that we have not really made much progress, or if at all, we have been somewhat lagging behind the timetable that we ourselves had set for ourselves. What's your view about it?
Well, I would say, well, I'll give a yes and no answer. In the sense, if you see, three-stage program has been essentially with a long-term vision that we should be in a position to develop technologies for utilization of thorium, which we have in very vast magnitude. Now, the three-stage, that to be able to get energy from thorium, you got to go through this development of technologies for all the three stages, the reactor technologies, as well as the reprocessing and recycle technologies. And on technological terms, I think we have done well, both for the first stage, the reprocessing spent fuel coming from first stage, the second stage, because all these things are now at industrial or commercial level. They are being done. Reprocessing of fast reactor fuel cycle, that also is good progress has been made. On thorium, on a small scale, almost entire fuel cycle has been worked upon. So I would say on technological terms we have done well. So there is, so now as far as people are concerned, they want megawatts, how much energy you are producing. And there I think the answer is probably yes, in the sense we have not produced as many, or we have not set up as much capacity in terms of megawatt as was being projected. But there are reasons for that. One of the biggest reasons is of course embargo related. See, when the original three-stage program was chalked out, it was known that there will be international restrictions, and that's why principle of self-reliance was very firmly established. But after 74 and later after 98, the embargoes became very, very severe. And so obviously that contributed to the delays in terms of setting up projects.
How did you face the challenge posed by these embargoes? Were the embargoes deterrents or they were opportunities?
Well, those who imposed embargo obviously meant it to be a deterrence. But for us, it became an opportunity in the sense the R&D infrastructure in BARC, in Indira Gandhi Center, or even in Raja Ramanna Center for Advanced Technology, VCC. The R&D infrastructure is very robust and comprehensive. And advantage that we have is we have several groups from several disciplines who can be brought together to solve it. We can configure different teams. So wherever there has been a challenge, I think these teams got together and created the necessary technologies. So we were successful. We did lose time in the process, but the fact is that is what made us strong technology.
You feel that the so-called multidisciplinary centers, which you took a significant lead in establishing one at Bhubaneswar, for instance, on this thing, will it have a noticeable impact on the progress, indigenous progress of technology?
Well, yes, but the Bhubaneswar is more an education institute, and the objective is, we have several ICERs in the country which have been set up. So the Bhubaneswar, which is called NICER, essentially patterned on similar lines, but there is a difference. And the difference is it is being backed up by Department of Atomic Energy.